What's up, WWE Champions Universe? Welcome to Champions Chat, the fastest growing podcast dedicated to the WWE Champions mobile game. I'm the Tribal Thief, Rusty Graves, and with me as always is the face that runs the place, Lee Brown. What's up, Lee?
What's up, Rusty? Last week when we were talking about this MLC, I was just, it was great to talk about how excited I was that they finally put a great AJ Styles in the game. So I'll take the face that runs the place any day. That was probably the one thing I've been harping on Scopely for literally 2 years since we became official CCs is why is there not a good AJ Styles? So I feel like I made a difference for the community. I doubt it had anything to do with us, but a boy can dream, can't he?
Well, for those of you who don't know the lore behind this, too, Lee trained at the same wrestling academy or the same federation. Let me make sure I get the language right.
Right.
Lee went to wrestling school.
Yep.
And was part of the same promotion that AJ Styles came up in.
Yep.
He was kind of the emeritus graduate of this wrestling school that
he didn't go through the wrestling school, but he wrestled for the federation a lot, and it was so back in the day I didn't know, AJ Styles wasn't a name when I was going through there. I had to hear the stories of AJ Styles, but legitimately when I was training they would be like, you want to be a good wrestler, watch this home video we made of AJ at the last thing, and I watched him fall from rafters. I watched him do where he'd hit the rope, do a double backflip, catch them, and then they'd do a flip Spanish fly thing together. I watched things where I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna be that good. So he if as good as he is now and as good as he was in New Japan and as good as he would, you go back to some of his early days and he was trying stuff that made you just go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. But unfortunately, I never got to wrestle at the same time as him, so I never met him.
Right.
Yeah, sad for me. Sad times, but it was cool.
Do you guys have Pluto? Just a shout out to those of you who are listening and don't know about Pluto. Pluto is a free streaming app, right? So it has hundreds and hundreds of channels on Pluto. And on one of the channels is I can't remember if I'm allowed to say. There's another company that AJ was the face of, the champion of, and they have their own channel on Pluto. And almost every time you turn on that channel, it's just streaming matches from the 2000s era, and you'll see very short-haired AJ Styles, which always really throws me for a loop to see his hair so short. But you know what, Lee? We're not here to talk about AJ Styles right now. We're here to talk about this craving I've had all throughout the holidays. I've had a sweet tooth, you might say. Do you ever get a sweet tooth at the holidays?
Yeah, unfortunately. It causes weight gain, depression, diarrhea, anxiety. Oh, wait, that's a different thing. But yes, definitely felt
I've had a sweet tooth ever since early December when I saw you first go live. It was my kids say cringe. It was a total cringe-worthy moment to hear you say over and over and over the phrase sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate. I've had a sweet tooth and a craving for sexual chocolate.
Whoa.
for as long as I can remember.
Rusty comes back to the podcast. We get demonetized immediately. What happened?
You made a lot of promises, and I'm hoping you're going to deliver on them.
Wow. What are we talking about here? Do I need to catch a flight to where you are? What's happening? I'm confused.
That was our very awkward transition to today's show. Speaking of overpromising and potentially under-delivering, we're going to go through line by line what Scopely called the December shakeup. Or better yet, maybe a name for it is the Deck the Ring MLC. Nice. It started in early December, and we were told this is a complete reimagining of the month-long contest, and that they posted on the community's Discord some key areas about what was new, about special events, and then they posted a section called What's Getting Better.
Right.
So this episode, Lee and I are going to go line by line through what December MLC promises were made of improvement, and we're going to rate them. I don't know. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Lee, or that was like Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and Ebert. I mean, I don't know if there's a better system though when you're just talking about two guys on a stream. Like, you know, I mean, that's basically what if you watch Simon Miller on What Culture, like he does ups and downs. I mean, that's the same basic thumbs up, some thumbs down comments. So yeah, if you've got something better, but like almost everybody just works off of this system or this system, you know. So okay.
You know what I think I'd like to do? I'd like to, as a tribute to the unsung hero of the world wrestling entertainment universe, is the referee. And you know what the referee throws up when things are bad? He throws up the X.
Okay.
That means stop the match. Something's broken. Someone's hurt. Right. We cannot continue. So I'm going to say, we're going to throw up the X, and you can write an X in the chat if you're on Twitch with us right now, or if you're watching the comments or listening to the audio of this on another platform. We want to know what of these categories you would throw up the X on. And I guess if we have an X, what would the inverse of that, Lee, be? A check? I don't know. We give it a
check, or like a like a praise hand, or like a
praise hand.
Could be thumbs up, like woo woo, raise the roof. I don't know.
The Lord.
Yeah. Praise ye the Lord.
We'd like this to continue, Scopely, in Jesus' name. Give your praise to the Lord. Yeah. So.
Well, you know.
On today's show, Rusty offends literally the entire community as he brings politics and religion to the table on this episode.
You could do the peace sign and the X. I just need to be different enough. I don't care what they are, but right. I like the X, and then thumbs up, peace sign, praise hand.
Peace sounds good. Peace. Keep going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep it going. All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to dive right in. And if you want to follow along with us, you can either open up Discord to the WWE Champions official Discord. And I think this was posted on Game News or something like that. And then also you can pull up the blog called Inside the Ring. And we're going to be working off those two things. December 8th, it was posted. And so, Lee, State of the Ring. And for those of you who don't know, can I tell a little story about the origin of this blog in its first appearance this month?
You can, yeah.
So most of you don't know this. Lee, for the first time in history, was the agent of chaos that tried to record a blog video for the community, and he accidentally went live on our channel, and he streamed the reveal of this MLC's characters hours before they were announced and went live. So it wasn't a catastrophic thing.
Oh no, it was like 2 days. It was a day and a half almost, something like that.
Okay, so there's a 48-hour window in which he questioned his fate as a content creator because he had revealed proprietary information that he literally signed a legal document stating he would never, ever reveal.
I had to eat so much crap, and I was messaging Gerson and was like, oh my gosh. So Slim did come to my defense. If you look at the OBS dashboard, literally stream and record are on top of each other. And so like it was not one of those things where, he did it on purpose or anything like that. But yeah, I leaked the MLC. Luckily, Only one top faction got a hold of it, and I was able to get a hold of their leader quickly and be like, guys, delete this. Like, stop
there is
it.
only one top faction for the record, so
We don't know. We don't know which top faction got a hold of it. We don't know
who
was always, who's always in our streams that was very kind and was like, don't share this, but just so we can know. But luckily they deleted it and it didn't get spread around too far. But it was a legit accident. It was not anything that needed to happen, but it happened, and I took lumps. I owned up to it. I said I'm sorry, and luckily Scopely was pretty cool, pretty chill about it. They're like, well, hope this doesn't get farther.
Because of his error, they've had me. I actually had to come back to babysit him on content. So that's really why I'm here today, is to make sure
Scopely has reassigned you as my guardianship again. Dang it.
Okay, Lee. So what was new this month? Just right out of the gate, we saw new superstar debuts. We saw Bronson Reed, Tribal Thief. We saw Mark Henry, Sexual Chocolate. We saw Roxanne.
We're calling him
the
Hot
Judgment
Chocolate,
Day.
so I don't demonetize the channel by accident, by the way.
In your opinion, were these three superstars that were promoted ahead of time acquirable with simply playing the game? That's going to be the first thing we rate. Could the community achieve, grind towards, play towards, engage with the game in a way that by the end of the month, they would have all three of these superstars on their roster?
So real quick, just as a setup that we didn't quite hit just well, but December was labeled as a shake-up begins. So like they intentionally said this is a whole new path. This is a big deal. This is a whatever. So I don't think the path to the superstars really changed. Other than, I shouldn't say like it did change like how you get them, but like the number of shards I don't think changed dramatically in a negative sense. I think honestly it changed in a positive sense. There was more places you could get superstars. You could do certain things with it, and I feel like they're obtainable. Yes, I haven't done a poll in the community to say who got them, who didn't at this point, but it's a 5-week MLC, and I've heard just unofficially, not official number, not like doing a poll. I've seen anecdotally a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm getting both Mark Henry and Roxanne today or this week," and that's been within the last few days. So I feel like by week 4. The hump, if the bell curve, like the bell curve is starting to crest. People are starting to cross
I have
that.
To say hot chocolate. You can't say that word either, for the record.
Hump. Okay, sorry. I meant like camels, like bell curves, but okay.
Here's the reason I said let's start there, because they posted in their Discord there was going to be simplified shard allocation, and that the A tier superstar was going to get 2,290 free shards, and there would be 1,300 of those would be from the Stip Tour. Okay. Right? So let's talk about that. That's acquiring the A tier and the Stip Tour. That's a change. Those Stip Tour required tickets, and day one of that event, some people spent their tickets on Hell Mode, where there were no shards in the Hell Mode matches, only prize wall ingots, right? So the design thought behind that was, okay, if you need Mark Henry shards, you play the normal and hard mode, and if you've got him, then you ignore and you only play Hell Mode, and you spam it, and you get MLC currency. Really cool design. But Lee, does it get an X? Are we throwing an X there for the confusion that it caused and people burning their tickets early and starting at a deficit, not knowing what to do?
I don't know that we're putting an X. I wouldn't put an X on that. I think this is a peace sign. I think that people are getting them easier. There was the learning curve of people immediately thinking, oh, if I max hell mode, that's going to be the most points, when in reality it was hard mode. So
People was me, for the record. There are
was me.
names attached to these people, the generic community.
People.
Rusty freaking Graves was the guy who marched through hell mode and burned his tickets.
Right? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so Rusty and friends were thrown by it.
Says in the chat, that's on you for not paying attention.
Right? Yeah.
True. Guilty.
Truesies.
All right. So Lee, you said
this,
it's a check. We're doing two. We're saying yes. Oh, that's what it is. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We're saying keep the A tier Stip Tour and let us get those shards. We're keeping it.
Yeah, I think that was a good change. I definitely don't enjoy, I don't know, like, one of the struggles I have, and this is maybe a different conversation for it, but there's so much to do every single day now when you factor in Titan and then like Stip Tours and then showdowns, and when they all overlap, like it's getting to be a little bit of a much for me, and I enjoy playing this game, but then again, I also have to create content, I have to do blah blah blah, so I have a little bit extra requirements on me than some, but I would say yes, I think it's a check. It's a yes. It's a yes. I think we got that done. So it's the DX versus DB. I like that. That's a good way to do it. But
and I don't think it's worth. We don't have to unpack it in great detail because this is not a change. But the S tier shards are in the showdown. That's no change. It's 3K. The 2,500 free S tier shards are attached to the showdown. So that's no change. So we're leaving that alone, right?
Yeah, agreed. But okay, so simplifying it, let's just say yes.
What about removing the revamped character from the Armory contest? What about disassociating those two things? This month we had a great rework in Mankind, Mr. Sacco, but I can't even tell you why. I haven't used him for anything. I think maybe there was one showdown like line item once that we used him for showdown contests.
Well, there was something this week too. So but it's a lot more subtle. It's definitely not all the time, and especially with I mean last month, well, the last several months, the revamped character was either greatly or annoyingly so something you had to use every single week. And I don't know if this is a way to phase out revamped characters. I hope not. I really hope not. But I would definitely say whatever we're calling this, I'm giving it an X. This is more of a I don't like it kind of a thing. But Mankind hits for 80 million turn one now, which is fantastic. And yet you're right. I used him that I can think of twice this whole month.
So revamping an older character, we love.
Right.
Not having a reason to use them, we don't love. Right. So let's clarify there. We don't want to lose the revamp, but we don't. Now, also, we don't want to be forced to use a bad revamp, a la Eddie Guerrero. Both times they redid Eddie, and he's heavily weighted, and he wasn't revamped enough. He wasn't good enough.
Right.
So there's got to be a middle ground between forced to use Eddie and completely ignoring McFoley, right? There should be some sort of, but I'm going to give removing the contest points attached to using the revamp. I got to throw up an X there. I didn't like it. I got a great fuse for McFoley, and so I used it, and I brought him to 6 gold, and there he sits, and there he sits. You know, it's kind of like he's got his little Christmas suit on. It would have been great if I got to use Santa Foley at Christmas 4 points for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just glad you didn't say he's got his little birthday suit on, but yeah, he's got his Christmas suit on, that's for sure. And in the real world of things, you know, we're not talking the politics surrounding it, but let's just acknowledge that McFoley's Legends contract expires here in a few months, and he has very, very boldly said he will cut ties with WWE after that, which means this might be the last good version of McFoley for a while. So
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I wonder if that also played into the contest design, because he was very vocal very,
yeah, I
very
didn't even
vocal.
think about that, actually. I was trying not to connect the dots on that, but you're right.
And maybe
Oh,
maybe that was an unintentional consequence of whatnots. Real life at times, real life affects the world of wrestling, which
yeah,
then affects the world of champions. And
yeah,
so we can't pretend like those worlds don't cross over. But we
right.
don't know if they did. We have no one told us, hey guys, don't use McFoley. No, that's not. Please don't think I'm trying to sow some sort of conspiracy in, because there's not one.
Right.
I just curious, right? More than anything.
Yeah.
Lee, you touched on, or we did, with McFoley being disassociated from the Armory contest, and that brings us to maybe the most um, highly contested or talked about component of the new MLC, which was the Armory loot, the makeover to the Armory loot. It was listed in the
Yeah.
blog and in the Discord server as a loot improvements. Armory loot milestones include the old contest milestone rewards and extra Armory prize wall medallions. No need to choose. You get both. That sounded like an awesome promise to the
Right.
community and a
Yeah.
great design. How do you think this month's Armory and Armory loot already?
Hold on. I just, I did. I did. Hold on. It was so terrible. How dare you say that I had to bring you back. No, I was trying something and it was stupid to do. I thought studio mode would save me so I could do it while we were in the background, but it doesn't matter. Either way,
Well,
so I'm in between on this one. I did get the hot chocolate plate from the Armory loot and got it last week, so I think that it's reasonable. A good portion of the community might have, because I don't know that I did any spending that tied me specifically to getting Armory loot. So I think that's okay. So here's where, for me, I think this is a yes. I think it worked. But I need a couple more months to actually see, is that so? But I've seen a lot of people who haven't. I've gotten very lucky on my Armory pulls this month. And I got the hot chocolate plate from the medallions. I've seen a lot of people who haven't. Just a lot of people who haven't, to be honest. So,
so
yeah.
yes, man, I'm deeply conflicted, but I want to say this: we are committed to only doing a two. This is a pass or fail. There's no in between. There's
All
no
right, for me,
C.
it's a yes. For me, it's a yes then.
You're giving it a yes. All right.
I
So that
am.
means you want to see it continue as it is. And
Yes,
that's okay.
I
It's not
do.
a hot take. All right. Now here's my thought. I initially hated it because I love the power to choose. I love the ability. And what I was doing was strategically selecting gear every time. Gear. I only wanted the gear. I only wanted
Right.
to gamble on the gear. Um, I did not like that now I had to get the choice made for me, and I did not like that I was going to start getting duplicates of things that I did not choose. I was okay getting duplicates of the gear because then I would get gear hangers, and ultimately it was a net win for me. What I began to see were a lot of bad pulls. I would say I don't know if they were worse though. I don't I don't think the pulls got worse.
Right.
And in lieu of getting hangers, I got MLC Armory prize wall medallions. So it was still a net positive, right? I wanted to hate it. This month, I got 3 new premium gears out of the Armory contest. Um, And so it makes it really challenging for me to give it an X when I got Tech Charlotte's gear, I got Julia Gulia's gear, and I got Michelle McCool's gear. So those are huge hits. Um, so it felt like the dud was still a dud. Bad loot's bad loot. You can't put a spin on bad loot, right? It's just
Right.
bad. You're just
bad.
getting duped. I got duplicate moments. I got bad straps. I got tier 5 medals, just like you did. I got a lot of, but at the end of the day, the net positive was getting the prize wall currency to get towards that plate. I got, not only did I get the 3 premium gear that I was not expecting to get or even able to choose, but I got the plate. And so for me, it's a yes. And I am deeply conflicted that I'm admitting that, but like I would have to say yes to the new structure of the armory loot.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to be mad that both of us said more of that, please. More of that.
Yes, I agree. So here's my take, though. I think this is one of those where you just need to wait to see what it is the next couple months. Because there's been a lot of times where they've introduced something, the community's like, and then over the next couple months it gets better and better, or we just get like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Or, the alternate is you do a couple months and it gets bad. It gets worse. People hate it. We don't like it, blah, blah, blah. So right. I think until we have that extra couple months of what happened here, I don't know that we can actually give it a full rating. But for now, I'm a yes, yes, yes. It's been good to me. But if I didn't get the hot chocolate, if every one of my things had been a dud, I think I'd still be cautiously optimistic because I like that they separated the prize wall from the armory currency, so to speak, and gave you kind of both. I do feel like it says in that blog, we're trying to make it so that you get both. And I feel like that at least started to happen, or at least people were able to do that. So from that side, that's why I'm a yes, but it really does take a couple months for us to go, is this good? Is this great? We'll see.
Well, and then my choice that I feel like was taken away was given back to me when it got to the prize wall. Yeah. So if I needed shards or a superstar or a gear, like I could have gone in a little harder and tried to get a regal gear, right? Like I could, like that element of choice was actually better because now it's not a random choice, but it's a strategic choice. So it kind of felt like the old midweek prize wall that I loved and I miss and I wish would come back.
Right.
That's what it felt like for me this month. So I'm shocking myself that I actually came out. I'm walking out of the casino with a lot more than what I went in with.
Okay.
Which is how rare is that, right? For any scenario.
Right. Yeah. I would agree. I think that's it. I think that's the way we look at it. But again, you and I have had that experience, but maybe not everybody does. Right. Maybe not everybody has. So
well. And that's where I would say, even if I didn't get those surprise hits on the gear, right. I still would have landed that plate, or I could have chosen something really good that I needed. So that's what I'm saying. It did take the randomization out, which I actually thought it took the choice out, but it gave me a better choice towards the end of the contest.
Okay.
So I really like that. Another thing that we're seeing this month that was a change that we're going to review is, was there an easier weekly flow? Was the contest structure overall, like they were saying it's going to be cleaner events, cleaner, simpler tours. We're removing older contests and we're merging things for clarity. I'm using their words.
Yeah.
And the rewards were moved to other sources for free. New weekly stipulation tour is going to be the main tier of the H tier shards. Hang on, let me get over to the blog itself. The midweek contest is going to be made simpler. Now every contest kicks off on Monday and lasts till
I do
Friday.
like that, where it doesn't kick off on a random part of the week, or Monday is just nothing. But
Right,
yeah,
right. And then the month-long contest has got a revamp too. Each milestone now gives one clear rewards, coin and TP. Were moved out of the league bags with guaranteed drops and bigger overall rewards. Those are some pretty audacious claims, right?
yeah.
Do you feel like this month the contests were more legible, meaning easy to understand and to read and to engage with? And so for Scopely to get the big yes for this one, it's a two-part question.
Right.
Were the contest easy to engage with, and did they give more? Did they pay out more than in recent months?
Okay, so for that, it's a yes. I do think that, because I've noticed normally in an average MLC, I hover around 1 billion coins, 2 billion coins if I'm really lucky, and
Right.
for a good stretch there, I've been getting towards 4 and 5 billion coin, and then dropping back down to 1 billion with the talent up, especially this last one, and then going back up to 2 or 3 billion. So it feels like the spread is greater. I'm still landing about where I usually have, but I'm getting a lot more of it on the front end. So I feel like that's a yes. What I don't like, and this one gets an extra me, while I like the simplified rewards format, in theory, in practice, when I'm looking at what I'm about to get, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just getting coins. Whereas before I was getting coins and this and that and that. And I know that it's all there, but visually it looks like I'm getting less because it's just one thing. Whereas before, like, even the things that didn't make sense, like the final milestone of the MLC has always, or at least for the last year or two, had this weird double coin hit. Like, you get 40 million coins or 200 million coins, and you get 300 million coins. I'm like, why not just say you get 500 million coins? Like, what in the world is wrong with this? I don't understand it. But even that psychological trick of like, ooh, look at all the coins I'm getting because there's a double hit, versus like you get 1,000 ingots for the prize wall. I'm like, oh,
Lee,
yeah.
when does the MLC end? It ends this Monday, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
this will be new for us because they said everything starts Monday, but MLCs historically start on a Tuesday. So
Right.
theoretically, the MLC starts either Monday or Tuesday, and I don't know until there's a blog.
I've done my share of Talent Up, that'll be the next thing we talk about. Review the new Talent Up system. But I brought up who I needed to bring up this
Yep.
month. Had a good time with it. I'm currently sitting, and I'm not a whale. I spent. I don't even know that I spent this month. Maybe an offer or two, maybe a 7 pull or two, maybe. I'm over 7 billion coin right now in my inventory at the end of an MLC.
Yeah.
I'm over now two of the 6 colors. I'm below 100K TP,
still low
and
TP.
4 of the 6 colors I'm over 100K TP. There were months that I limped to the finish line and had literal hundreds of TP left.
Yeah.
Not hundreds of thousands or
Right.
1,000,
Yeah.
but like, now for some reason Scopely still chooses to weight purple TP differently, or maybe that's just my luck, but like, it seems like everyone needs plates to empower purple gems, purple moves, and purple TP. Seems to be like the currency that I can't get enough of.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Did you see that kind of? I mean, is that basically what you're seeing?
It is.
So were the rewards better this month?
I think the rewards were better this month. Yes, I think the econ has increased. Whether or not it is like what you say, a cost of living increase enough, I don't know. Like, there's still certain areas where I would love, like Sheik and I talked about this earlier this week. You know, the daily collection or whatever, the daily rewards, you get like maybe 1200 TP of a color.
Right.
And you have to spend a 4,000 to take one move up. So it's not in 1 week. You're not even getting enough TP to take up a quarter of one move. So every month you can take up one move with the TP that's in the daily collection, but it is coming in other places. I think TP's still a little stingy for me. I'm still struggling on, especially purple. Purple right now is my big color that I'm struggling on. But that being said,
I'm glad to know that maybe it's a game-wide issue. Because someone in the chat wrote, purple TP, more purple TP. No, it's purple. They're holding back.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that. What's up, CM Punk? We literally had a conversation about how you're usually the first in the chat here. So you get to say hi to Rusty now. But
good to see you too. Good to see you too, buddy.
But yeah, purple TP is my bottleneck. Certain tokens like the emerald tokens I'm still struggling with in a few places. But that being said, this month I have so far gotten everybody except AJ Styles. I don't think I'm going to get the new character this weekend, which actually we can say the name because they put him out on Discord in that. So I'm not going to get Randy Orton this weekend, I don't think, unless I get lucky. So I'll have missed 2 of the characters, but there was 1 extra character this MLC compared to previous, I think. And I not only have gotten all of those characters, but I've also taken them all to 6-star gold, and I'm still about where I normally am. So I am complaining about the purple TP not being there, but I've also maxed all the new characters except AJ and Randy. So I would say it's probably good. It's probably better.
So that brings us to I think an important topic. We've talked about resource inventory, all that. We've talked about simplicity of contest, legibility of contest. I would say it's been a yes to me for everything except, and this is a big one. This is a big X. They took the fun out of Talent Up.
Yeah.
They took the fun out of this. If you go to the Apple App Store and you search WWE Champions, it will tell you this is a wrestling RPG
role-playing game. Yes. Yep. You're right.
One of the key components of a role-playing game is leveling up your XP of a character.
Yeah.
The build-up of the character, the investment of the character. And so to take that down to a simple line item and to put a cap on it in a midweek or a week-long contest to say and you don't get points individualized for tokens. It's just increase the talent of a superstar and we'll give you X points. Right. I was like, that's too easy. That's too simple. That's too elementary for the caliber of game and the complexity of character and what all is involved. Talent Up should be something you look forward to, a highly anticipated and cerebrally tantalizing event. It should blow your mind.
Blow your mind.
You should go I waited all month to do this, and now I just YOLO'd the character that I got last month. Awesome.
Yep.
I love this game. I am having fun. This feels good. This feels like a role-playing game. This feels like investment. And you're like, no, I just put 2 billion coins into somebody that was at 0, and I took him to 350, and I'm done.
Yep.
And that's it.
Well,
and it was Nia Jax, and I needed the -4 MP coach.
Oof.
Womp, womp, womp.
Oh, right. Oh.
That's what I did this month with my Talent Up. I took those terrible superstars that are -4 MP coaches because I took off of the game the first 3 months of hype being introduced. So I'm at a massive deficit on hype.
Right.
So to be able to compete, I have to have -4 coaches, or I can't even run a match in any mode. So yeah.
Well, here's my take on that. The last 2 Talent Ups I didn't even do videos for, and you know how I love creating content. I didn't even do videos for them. Like, and Talent Up videos usually get a decent amount of views, so that's a hit for me. I mean, not a hit. That's a unhit. That's a bad hit for me, because that creates less content for the channel, which is, you know, I mean, whether or not you want to play the YouTube game, once you become a YouTuber, you have to do certain things to keep things moving. And I genuinely enjoy it. And, you know, I love it whenever content, the community likes content. And like I've always said, like,
Right.
it's weird to me that the Talent Up and especially the Fusapalooza videos get really good views, but they typically do. And I stopped doing Talent Up videos for largely this. I think I had one. I might have had one Talent Up and one Fusapalooza video. So that's like half to a quarter of what I would normally have for those content. And I like, what am I gonna do? Like, oh look, I put coins into this super. Oh look, because I didn't really take anybody up. I just took my guys who have been sitting at 6-star, but like the lowest level of 6-star, and took them up to top 6-star. That's all I did. Like, there was not anything exciting about it. So
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
Howie
Did you
Potter
have
put
fun?
in the chat, like, wait, Talent Up was fun? When? Like, I
Exactly.
don't know that I had fun. This is an X for me. I want Talent Up to be more engaging.
X for me too. Talent Up used to be one of my favorite components of the game.
Yeah.
And I understand the midweek prize mall. We may never see it again. I understand that. I understand we may never see dollar per coin pulls again.
Right.
Do you remember those old days? So it's
Yeah.
like WrestleMania special, like one loot coin. And no, this is in a pre-shard era. So like $1 would get you something pretty decent in this game.
Yeah.
But then to go, no more Talent Up. I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't want the game to feel more elementary. I want it to be simple and clear, but not basic beyond the realm of fun, right? So we gotta figure that part out.
Howie said,
Lee,
I don't enjoy doing Talent Up, but I enjoy watching Talent Up videos on YouTube. There you go. Like, Howie, you are the person who's made those videos a hit for us. Thank you.
You know what I'd love to see is for them to put in a max button, like a slider. Like you want to take this TP all the way, you know, like you want to take these coins all the way. Beep. You want to take his talent. You want to level him from, 3-star gold up to 6-star gold. Just slide this.
You have the resources. It'll just use all of these resources. Yeah.
Auto pay. Just auto pay it. Or and then it's like, oh, that's cool. I don't have to keep subbing in moves to be sure I increase the talent of the particular move. I hate that.
Yeah.
Okay, Lee, here's another controversial one. I'm going to read Scopely's words. Loot is getting fairer and more rewarding. Every month-long loot now has milestones, so you're guaranteed progress as you pool. Deck the Ring loot will have weekly contest superstar shards. The Elite loot will have debut and weekly contest superstar shards. The Armory loot will have, so we've already talked about Armory. Briefcase loot will have old premium prize mall rewards. Right. So did the loot improve? And if so, how? And if not, why?
So I like what many call the pity pull system. I think it's woefully late.
Let me put a pin in that. Tell for those who don't know, what is pity pull? What does that mean? Pity pull system.
Sure. So if we go over here onto our account, and you can see this is my test account here. When you go into the loot, like, it'll say, okay, I can spend $100 to buy 24 of these. Oh, but wait, there's this, what they call loot milestones, or what a lot of people call pity pulls. If you click on this, one coin, one pull will get you 10 shards of him, 10 shards of him. 4 pulls will get you 20 shards and 30 shards. 8 pulls will get you this. So if you do a mega, you know that you're getting everything in this list, which is, in this specific loot, it's shards. But in others of the loots, like if you go into, well, no, this is going to be shards largely too. We don't have a weekend loot right now on here, but if you go to the Deck the Ring Armory loot, you see this is where you got Mankind. So 5 pulls got you to here. 10 pulls, and then a mega pull. Actually, a mega pull for this would be 10 at a time. So that gets you there.
There's a plate up there as well, I thought. Isn't there a plate somewhere?
There's not, but they did institute the Ring of Sauron into the game. So the One Ring is now available. So this is late edition. They changed it. This used to be the gold chest, but now it's the Ring of Sauron instead. But then this is where you got your MLC medallions, which went to that prize wall, which went to blah, blah, blah. So that's where we were talking about with the armory loot. They said you don't choose, you get both. Because it used to be you had to choose between doing the loot or getting the rewards on the prize wall. Now you get both, where you every time you do a pull on the loot, it gives you more of the medallions and so on and so forth. And then on a weekend loot, which isn't available right now, but a weekend loot you would see, usually there's shards of the new character involved and other things. So basically, like, here's the thing that I think is marketing speak of all marketing speak. It says on there, if you don't quit spending, you never lose, except for money.
If you don't quit, you never lose.
If you don't quit spending, you never lose
marriage,
except for money.
You just lose your mortgage. You just lose your home.
Right? Oh my gosh, right? But compared to where we were...
You just lose your credit score.
Right? Yeah, whoops. Oh, but compared to where we were before, like, you and I both went from fairly free to play. I obviously went a little more whaley than you did across the history of the game, but both of us went to being spenders over the course of the last 6-7 years, and heavier spenders in my case. And so I'm spending a lot of cases anyway. What this does now, it does give you more rewards. And the one thing I was concerned about is that you would see other rewards removed and basically moved into the spend loot. I don't think that that's necessarily the case in most of the situations, but it is where you like this weekend, like if I do a mega to try and get Randy Orton, I am now factoring in, okay, this is how many shards are available in the game. This is how many shards are available if I'm getting the loot. If I buy the loot on the web portal, this is the bonus shards I'm getting. And then now this is the pity pull system. So this is the loot milestones where I'm getting. So there's like 5 different places that you get rewarded if you spend on the portal for that. So you do start to take into account, like, okay, if I spend, does it give me more? And I think it does. Here's where I've already found myself getting caught, and I think Scopely, like, seriously, why didn't you implement this 3 years ago? There's been a number of loots where the next loot milestone is 2 or 3 pulls away, and I'm like, oh, if I just do 3 pulls, I get that. Like, right. I don't even care about the pulls. Like, they could be thrown away. I don't care. But if I do 3 pulls, I get that next milestone. Right. So why didn't they do this sooner? Because obviously it's a way to bring in more spend with the loot milestones as well. So I think this is a yes from me. I think it's good as long as they don't misuse and abuse their power.
Here's my thing. Well, actually, I have 2. I wrote down notes so I would remember to say this. The difference between Lee and myself, if you've ever wondered, what's the difference? Lee was, I won't say is, because I have no idea conceptually anymore, but Lee was a heavy spender. I was a spender that was heavy. That was the difference between the 2 of us.
Oh, come on.
And then, so a little humor for you. So then I would say this. The most I ever spent on this game was also attached to the worst I ever felt about this game.
Ooh.
The most do you remember?
We're doing the law of chiasms here. Okay.
Let's put back on our thinking caps, Lee. Let's go back to the day of what they called the high roller loot.
Yeah.
The high roller loot with Muscle Man Bray shards attached.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to be guaranteed, and they were supposed to be premium. It's the worst thing they've ever offered. And I got nothing.
Yep.
I fell short.
Same.
Not one new pull. Same. Not one. Not one new character. And still was a mile away from Muscle Man Bray at the end of that. Here's why I like this new loot system, is because I could have actually evaluated what I would get at a minimum.
Right.
At a minimum. I could say, okay, if I do this, I will get this, and it's a guarantee.
Right.
And am I willing to spend X and get Y if that's all I get out of it?
Right.
Right? Would I be happy? And so yeah, for that weekend, sometimes it looks like a plate or it looks like a whatever, like a fuse. I don't know. I don't know what's in it, but it's like to quantify the decision and to clarify the decision. To me, that's invaluable, and I can actually say, yeah, it's worth it, or no, it's not worth it ahead of time. And I can move those two concepts away. Like I said, the most I ever spent is the worst I ever felt. That's not possible anymore because I can control what I actually get out of it at a minimum.
Yeah.
At a minimum, like never before. So for me, it's a yes. For me, it's a yes to the new loot system. The loot system gets a big yes from me.
I agree.
I'm really happy about it.
I agree. Yep, 100%. I agree. As long as they don't misuse it, it's a yes from me. And so far, I think it's been good, and it makes, I mean, the goal is make every loot feel rewarding. And my argument to those behind the scenes at Scopely for 2 years has been every time there is a prize wall, there should be something that the free to play player goes, at least I got that. And that's what this feels like. This is like okay, well, I didn't get much out of the pulls, but at least I got whatever the bonus rewards are. So that's always you should always walk away, I feel like, whenever you're spending, especially real world money, I feel like at very least you should walk away going, at least I got that. If not going like, hooray! And that this increases the ooey gooey goodness of the loot in that way. So.
Well, as I look at the list that Scopely provided us, there's really just one last item on it, and we'll give that our final score. Are we throwing up the X like old Earl Hebner, or are we giving it the yes like the yes man himself? Well, it was perk updates. Perk updates. I don't know if this was an exciting thing. I don't know if this was actually a big deal, but universal turnbuckles were removed. And the tour perk had been streamlined. Each level now requires only one tour turnbuckle. There were also offers, I think, attached to the backstage pass where there was a plus 99 MP stipulation tour perk. So for, let's say, $9.99 USD for that offer, you could have had plus 99 on all your stip tours for the week. Lee, perks have changed. Are we giving them a yes, or are we filling up the X?
What's our symbol for thumbs in the middle? Because
right,
this one is just straight up, we are the bar. That's all this is. Oh, there we go. We are the bar. That's all this is. I literally didn't notice it, didn't think about it, and when you started talking about it, I was like, oh, they did that, didn't they?
It did. Now, here's where I like this change is I was always short of universal turnbuckles. I had to make choices on which perk I was going to bring up. And oftentimes that prevented me from maxing out another perk because I had a deficit, which then led to the decision tree of do I now affect my I'm saving up on the MLC wall for a specific item, shards of a character. Now do I have to dip into those shard chase to go buy the universal turnbuckles to push my perks up? And is it going to cost me a chance at recruiting? I'm only 200 shards away. Let's say EO Sky, for example. I'm only 200 shards, and her shards are on the wall, and I don't know if I'll get to 6K medallions, but I know I need these universal turnbuckles, so I better go spend 1,000 on them to gather them up because I'll use them this month. And then the end of the month comes, and guess what? You're 1,000 shy of those shards, and that is a huge feel bad for me. That was a Charlie Brown moved the football, Lucy moved the football, Charlie whiffs, he lands in the pile of leaves. And, oh brother, it's just a feel bad. So for me, this gets a yes, even though it's not a very sensational change. Yeah. I love the simplification, and I love that I don't have to go and juggle the decision on, am I going to blow my shot at getting the thing I really want and because of something I think I really need.
Right.
So
Yeah, you have way more insights into this one than me. I didn't notice it, period. Like I didn't pay attention to it. And frankly, a lot of times, especially with the distance between where I'm at with jobs and what I'm doing with things, oftentimes I literally just go into an event and real quick before it, I just equip the perks, upgrade them, and go. So I don't even pay attention to, I mean, honestly, I don't even pay attention to what they are right now. But that's more me than it is, I think, the average community. I think the average player in the community, though, it's at least the same, if not positive. I don't think this gets an X at the very least, but I literally have nothing else to say about it. I have no insights in my world on it. So, yeah, you are by far more the expert now on that one.
Well, I wish I would have made notes of the overall score. I'm pretty sure we said yes
to a lot more things.
Basically 5 of the 6 changes. I only remember throwing up the X once or twice. So, and I think we agreed on every area, which I would say the community is probably going to be outraged when they see our vote about the armory loot. But other than that, I thought our conversation reflected most of what I've read on Discord, either our Discord or our factions or our friends in the game talking about it. But what I want to know is what you think about it. Those of you that are listening to this on a podcast, watching it on YouTube, we want your comments. Did we get it wrong in any particular area? And if there's an area of the game where you would throw up the X, let us know so that we can help maybe pass on your concern. And hopefully you're going on to the appropriate channels and sharing that feedback already, because I know they love your feedback. I know they love hearing from you. Once dynamic insight more than hearing from me, a static voice that they get to hear all the time. So, Lee, I think that's about it for this episode. Why don't you give us your closing thoughts, your burning desires, and we'll wrap up.
Rusty, it's been a long time since I've been asked if I had any burning sensations. So welcome back. Actually, quick story to that. Like, I think I was missing that banter with you so much. Those commercials for like Ozempic and whatever. Like, doesn't matter what it is. Like, do you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis? Those type things. A lot of them like go say this line of, tell your doctor if you're nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. And in the absence of not getting this banter with you, I've started a thing with my wife where whenever one of those commercials comes on, I'll literally lean forward and she just goes, "Oh, come on." And I will just let it sit the entire time until they get to that line. And then I'll put my hand on her knee and go, "Babe, am I nursing, pregnant, or plan to be?" And it's gotten so bad that my wife wasn't in the room. My daughter and I were watching something and I started looking around and my daughter goes, "It's okay, Dad. You can ask me if you need to." It's like, okay, I'm not nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Okay, good. Anyway, I don't know what that was about, but I've just missed those kind of banter with you. So I would just say, the topic of the Wednesday episode was 2020. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, was 2025 the best year in champions ever? And then this week was what would make 2026 better, like than ever? And I think you've hit on this where these changes they're doing are some of the good, I think largely incremental. I don't think any of these really move the needle for me, like from one side of the fence to the other. But I think as long as they keep doing these incremental changes and keep getting better and better, I think the enjoyment of the game is going up. And you've said it before, I've said it before, but for a game that is now 9 years almost, like the anniversary will be 9 years this month, or not this month, but in a couple months, for a game that's 9 years old to still be moving the bar forward like this in big ways, I think is positive. I think it's got a bright future ahead of it as always, and I like it. So that's all I've got. It's been a while. Which one of us closes out the episode?
Yeah, I think we should end with this teaser because one of our game's mods wrote in the chat a little teaser that big changes coming in January. I just read it in the chat. So if you're not here with us live, Godflow has just told us that, hey, good stuff happened in December, and even more coming next week as the new January MLC launches. So if you had a good time with us today, let us know in the comments, in the chat. Let us know by sharing it with your faction. Let us know by joining our Discord server. And what else can you do to really help us out is to log into every Google account you have and subscribe to our channel.
we're on the way to 5K. That's our next goal.
Phone. Grandma, can I see something real quick? And then use her account as well and subscribe to our channel. And with all that to be said, we will see you next time, friends.
Bye.